AITA for asking my BIL what did you expect when my daughter didn't want him at her birthday. My daughter, 14, loves her uncle a lot but she is angry at him right now. When we were walking home together one day, we saw an emaciated dog tied to a pole in front of an empty house. The owner must have abandoned her there. My daughter had tears in her eyes. I was already thinking of calling my wife and asking if I can bring the poor dog home before my daughter begged me. Took a picture, sent it to my wife with a couple of texts, and she said yes. When my BIL first saw the dog, he said he's probably gonna die by the end of the week. Don't know why you bothered taking him home. She teared up a bit at that. It's been over a month now, and he is still alive and recovering well. My daughter still didn't want him at her birthday party though. She is still upset at him for saying that we should have left her dog there and asked us not to invite him. He hasn't apologized for his remarks either, insisting that he was only being realistic. BIL was really upset, saying that I'm wrong for denying him the opportunity to celebrate with his niece. I asked, what did you expect? His wife then said that I was being petty with the comment. ETA, before anyone else says that I'm rashly severing familial relationships, it's not like I left no avenue for reconciliation. My daughter really loves visiting her grandparents, and my BIL lives with them. She is still seeing them once every few weeks, so no, I did not burn the bridges. I did not go nuclear. It's just a birthday party. AITA for excluding my adopted sister from family photos? This is a throwaway and I'm using fake names. I am 26F and my adopted sister Ally is 14F. The way we're related is that my younger brother Michael, 24M, has been with his wife Maya, 24F, since their freshman year of high school. Maya and Ally had a really bad home life and my mom is very much a my home is open to everyone type of person, so over that year Maya began spending more and more time at our house, eventually bringing Ally over as well since she was always babysitting. By the time Michael and Maya were 16 years old, Maya basically lived in the guest room and Ally spent after school, most weekends, holidays, and summer vacation at our house. My mom and dad say that they love both Maya and Ally like their own children. My other siblings, 18M and 16F, also treat her like she's a part of the family. Even after Maya and Michael moved out, Ally is still at their house the same amount, if not more than she was before. Now to preface, I have nothing against Ally. She's a good kid and I make an effort to be nice to her. However, I've never really liked how she was foisted into our lives. She's not actually adopted and she still has parents and her own family. Yet my parents spend so much time and resources on her, it's ridiculous. Everyone else has started unironically calling her their daughter or sister and I've refused. I just don't consider her to be family. Anyways, I got married recently, which is where the issues start. I invited Ally to the wedding, of course, and she came with all of my other family. When we were doing pictures of the wedding parties, I decided that I wanted one with all of my immediate family, so my parents, my siblings, Maya and Michael's daughter. My mom brought Ally up to come take the picture with us, and I was forced to tell her no. My mom started to get upset, but then Ally said it was okay and sat down by herself. My mom isn't a very confrontational person, so she didn't make a big deal of it, but then everyone else realized that Ally wasn't there and they got mad as well. Ultimately, we took the photo how I wanted it because they didn't want to do this at my wedding, but my entire family is pissed at me now. My mom said that Ally cried when she got home because I don't love her, which I don't. I feel like they were forced into a position where I had to do an asshole thing by forcing this kid onto me. I don't think I should have to consider her family if I don't want to. AITA? Edit, after the ceremony but before the reception, the wedding party, and both of our close family took photos. I did not include Ally in this photo session and she sat with the rest of the regular guests waiting for dinner. I did not intentionally exclude her from any of the photos taken. I'm sure she's in some of them throughout the night especially because she was there with my family. I hope that clears some things up. Edit 2, Maya and Ally are sisters. Sorry, forgot to explicitly say that in my post. Final edit, the people who are agreeing with me are starting to convince me that I'm wrong. To the people calling my parents nasty things in my PMS or just saying that they aren't good people, you're dead wrong. My mom is the most caring and kind-hearted woman in the world and I should have made that more clear in my post. To be clear, I am also not a monster. I don't misread Ally. I get her birthday and Christmas gifts every year. However, I am starting to understand that I did do a shitty thing by publicly excluding her at my wedding because I wanted it to be exactly how I imagined, especially because my mom was apparently blindsided by my feelings. I was 16 to 18 when Ally started coming around a lot and I didn't form the same bond everyone else did. I never super liked being around kids, including my sister who by all accounts behaved way worse than Ally ever did. But I recognize that she's become a part of our family. And I think I'm going to make more of an effort to get to know her properly, because I do know she is very mature and intelligent for her age. Also, I don't mean to minimize what Maya and Ally have gone through. By saying she wasn't physically abused, I more so meant to explain why she hadn't been legally removed from her mother's house. She does have an extended family that actually cares about her, but they live at minimum an hour away, so she stays with my parents the majority of the time. Thank you for all of your input. AITA for leaving up a picture that angers my MIL. I, 25F, married my husband Joe, 27M, 4 months ago. We dated all through high school and college, so we have been in each other's lives and in each other's families for quite some time. Joe's father died when we were seniors in high school, and his sister Jill died 3 years ago. Since then, his mother, Jean, has been, in my opinion, unhinged. I cannot imagine her sense of loss, and I know everyone has their own grief process, so I really try not to judge, but she makes everything about her grief. She didn't come to our college graduation because she would never get to see Jill graduate from college. We try to be especially kind to her on Mother's Day, but she spends hours at the cemetery and gets very irate if we leave before she's ready to. She insists we give our first child her husband's name as a first or middle name and gets angry when we say we'll name our future children as we see fit. There have been other incidents, too. She's done so much to push Joe away while also relying on him for emotional and sometimes financial support. They have a very unhealthy relationship now. It came to a head when we were wedding planning. I invited her to come wedding dress shopping with me, my mom, my grandma, and my maid of honor. I told her she did not need to come if it was going to be painful for her, but she said she would be happy to. To all our surprise, she came and brought a wedding gown that Jill had purchased to save for her own wedding someday. She said it would help her if I tried it on and I did, which made her cry, but then she insisted that it was my dress and I didn't need to get another one. After multiple refusals, she pouted the rest of the time. It was so awkward for everyone. This led to a lot of drama, to the point where Joe, and me, but mostly Joe, did not want her at the wedding because we couldn't trust her to not cause some kind of scene and because we thought it would be terrible for her mental health. We asked her not to come and she agreed not to. I got to have a dance with my dad, and my mom surprised Joe by stepping in for a mother's dance with him. They smiled and laughed the whole time. It was the most special part of our wedding, to me. I recently changed my FB cover photo to a picture of Joe and my mom dancing and laughing. Jean saw this and has been coming at us for it, saying it's just a reminder that she was excluded from her son's wedding day. I told her I'm not taking it down and that if she doesn't want to see it, she can simply not look at my FB. She says I am inconsiderate of her feelings and that I am an AH for this because it drives another wedge between her and her son. Am I the asshole? AITA for refusing to attend nephew's wedding? My eldest nephew, 23, recently announced his engagement to his girlfriend of several years. Initially, I was happy for the two of them. However, later he posted photos of the engagement on social media. On 2 of those photos he can be seen clearly making the white supremacist OK hand sign. When approached, he was very clear about his thoughts on other races. When the wedding invitation arrived, my wife and I talked long and hard about the invite and the situation. In the end, we wrote to my nephew saying that we would not attend due to his intolerance and hatred towards those who do not meet his biased standards. Of course, he told his parents about my non-RSVP, and now my brother and SIL, especially the SIL, are angry. They argue that the wedding is about love and family and not about politics, and B, that I am politicizing the wedding in order to find an excuse not to attend. I pointed out that the nephew politicized the wedding by posting pictures of himself making political gestures after the engagement. So, am I the asshole for not attending?